Hello, welcome Impactful Parents. Today's a special day because we have with us Alex Yanacone, who is Director of Education and Community Programs here in the Denver area from the University of Colorado. Is it Denver?
We're on the Aurora campus, at the Anschutz campus.
On the Anschutz campus. And today I invited Alex on so she can talk to us a little bit about building resiliency in our children. And hopefully specifically, we're going to get into building resiliency a little bit into our tweens and our teens, but really the material that you're going to be hearing today is coming for any school-age child. So this is really exciting. Thank you for joining us today, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. So we will go ahead and dive right in, talking a little bit more about resiliency. You all will have access to some tools as well that you can review or use with your kids, and even some tools that your kids can use on their own as well. But when we think of resiliency, there's a bunch of different definitions and a lot of ways we can think of it. But in its most simplest form, it really is the ability to bounce back. People who are resilient, one, have the ability to face adversity and challenges, but not just cope with them, not just deal with them. We actually see that they become stronger, they have that adaptability to change, and it allows them to seek new experiences and take risks as they grow and get older and experience new things in their life. And I think this quote is really important, especially for kids, because they tend to think it is all about the strongest or the most intelligent, but really the species that is the most adaptable to change is really the ones that survive the best. So we really are wanting to teach our kids how to adapt to the changes that come in their lives. So we're going to talk about resiliency with this story of two kids or two teens, just to gain an idea of what it can look like. So Lisa and Jake are students. They're in the same 11th grade math class. They both don't do well during the year, and they both end up getting bad grades. When they hear their news that they didn't do well, they have the exact same negative emotions. They're upset with themselves, they're angry, they're a little scared, and disappointed. So we know that they have those exact same reactions. But what we see after a few days is that their coping strategies actually diverge. They're different. So Lisa, what we find with her is she ends up picking herself up. She decides, I'm going to find a tutor, I'm going to make a greater effort, I'm going to do better in math, I'm going to really put effort into doing better next year. Where Jake, he kind of takes the other end and he just tumbles really into a downward spiral of negativity. He sulks and he really starts doing poorly in all of his classes. So we know that they faced the exact same adversity. And the question becomes, well, why did one bounce back and the other didn't? A lot of people think, well, maybe it's genetic or maybe it's family circumstance. Maybe Lisa's parents are more supportive, or maybe she may have been born kind of quote unquote a stronger person. Or actually one factor though that we know that overtakes those influences of genes, experiences, or even opportunity is really just the influence of the way that we think. And that's what we're really wanting to teach our kids. And so what we can look at then is the idea of the ABCs. So we know that if a particular adversity led to a particular consequence, then Lisa and Jake would have shared the exact same reaction to their poor grades. So we actually would think that everybody's consequence would be the same. But what we see with this is the reason things end up differently is because of that belief, what lies in between. So for the example of this story, Lisa and Jake both had bad grades. Their beliefs were different, and that is what really led to their consequences. So Lisa, she knew she received a low grade, but her belief was that she would improve by making a greater effort. She also felt that one bad grade wasn't the end of the world, and that is what really led to her acquiring a tutor and seeking more help. Where Jake, his belief was that doing poorly in math really spoiled his chance of getting into a good college. Therefore, he kind of just decided there's no point in trying in school at all. So Lisa, her optimistic and more realistic belief contributed to her high resiliency in this adverse situation. And then Jake had this pessimistic and unrealistic belief, which contributed to his low resiliency. So the good thing about this is that when we have awareness of this kind of ABC model, we can hone in on our beliefs and begin fine-tuning them for greater optimism and accuracy. And really it is about self-awareness, and then there's things as parents that we can do as well.